One may ask, if the Mayans did not possess the advanced equipment we have in modern astrophysics, how were they able to monitor sunspot activity at all? Well, we do know that they shared cultural knowledge with the ancient Chinese, and it's recorded among Chinese that taking a polished metal surface coated with a certain oil, one can, in the daytime, see the reflections of the sunspot movement on the surface of the metal. This is similar to the shadow box technique we're taught to use in elementary school to make a pinhole through a piece of paper to watch solar eclipses reflected on another surface without getting blinded by the light itself. A similar property of optics is how you can put on UV blocking sunglasses and miraculously see under the surface of water that's otherwise too bright to see beyond. Another example that comes to mind is how in certain temples oriented to certain stars, there are long shafts down which a beam of light will pass from a given object in the sky. It's therefore possible, through the nature of polarizing light, to view stars in the daytime beyond the glare of the day sun. One example in particular that I know of is the Grand Viewing Gallery in the Great Pyramid of Giza in Egypt. Several links joining the Mayan, Egyptian, and Chinese cultures include optics, metallurgy, the use of liquefying stone, and knowledge of how the cycles of the seasons and the sun directly affect civilization, and how these can be used as a macroverse upon the microverse, the microcosm of the human being, to map out the 52 primary acupuncture points, which are themselves a sub-module of the 260-day sacred Mayan calendar unit known as the Zolkin. In the Mayan language, Zolkin actually means 260, as well as referring to one of their greater hierarchical archetypes. To give a few more examples, in phonetics, Ren in Egyptian means personal name or personal sonic signature, and in China, Ren in Cantonese means personal name. Another specific example, if you do your research, the Mayan, the Chinese, and the Egyptians are also noted for having a clinical, medical way to extract certain hormones from feces and urine. Another modern technique we're using now, but they would do it for a number of medical reasons, including, most humorously, I think, the extraction of certain hormones from crocodile feces. Mind you, this is a completely clinical process. It's totally pure. It's like on a crystalline level. And these hormones from the crocodiles would be given to the soldiers to make super soldiers. If you can imagine the hormones of a crocodile raging through your system. This is one of the reasons why the Egyptian horsemen were so powerful, why some of the Chinese kung fu generals of the ancient times were so powerful, and why the Mayans were so fierce. All three of these cultures are also known for having built large, expansive temples and pyramids. Now you may say to yourself, what? Chinese pyramids? No such thing. But it's true. In northern China, where the sand is mostly red, there's a huge area called the Shenxi Pyramids, somewhat of a political secret in modern times. It's a national treasure of China, but we do know about it, so we can talk about it. These pyramids are not actually necessarily completely solid manufactured stone like the Mayans and Egyptians, but they are massive, and they are four-quartered, although somewhat dome-shaped. As well, if any of you are familiar with Chinese Qigong, they hold that there are three primary centers of transformation of life force, essence, and spiritual energy, known as the three dantians. One in the abdomen, one in the chest, one in the head. And when the energies that are collected in these places are processed and transformed correctly, they naturally align like a laser, creating a coherent light in the fourth dantian above the physical head. Both the Mayans and the Chinese had this, and after the Mayans, the Aztecs adopted it too, along with the 52 primary acupuncture or acupressure points, which are so well known to the Chinese. And well, there it is. 52 times 5 is 260. There's 52 weeks per year, 52 total letters in the English alphabet. If you count the minuscule and the majuscule, there's 52 cards in the modern playing deck, not counting the jokers. Another link here is that the slope of angle on the Great Pyramid of Giza is 51.84 degrees, which rounds up to the nearest 52. The primary application of the hormonal extracts, the salts from the feces and the urine, in fact, was used to correct hormonal imbalances brought on by solar weather. This includes periods of fertility which are too high and periods of fertility which are too low, concomitantly existing with periods of higher evolution vis-a-vis the construction of new sciences, arts, temples, cultures, versus periods of lower or devolution with wars, plagues, petulant tyrants, birth defects, and etc.